Alright, welcome back everybody to another video. Jeremiah here, and if you guys are tuning in from the Dragon Ball community, whether you guys just collect figures or you also are from the vintage collectors community, welcome to the channel. Now recently I've been doing a lot of unboxings of some of the current figures that are out, but today is super special because I'm going to be revisiting some of my favorite figures from when I was a kid, and these are these vintage Super Battle Collection figures. Now, if you guys are into the Super Battle Collection line, you guys are going to notice that these look a little bit different from what you remember, and that's because these are custom. So I'm super excited. We're going to go into a lot of detail on how these guys came to be. Now, usually we do unboxings for the current figures, but today we're going to be doing a boxing. Ooh, that's going to be a little bit different, and I'm going to show you why when we go into more detail in today's video. So, without further ado, let's jump into today's review. Okay, so first things first, I am a super fan of the Super Battle Collection line. You can see some of them here in the back, and some of them here on the side, right? But basically, the Super Battle Collection line was the line of Dragon Ball figures that came out and by the way, if you guys are coming from the vintage community, you probably already know all this, so you can skip this part. But for the people that are, just tuning in for the first time and kind of seeing these kinds of figures, maybe this will be helpful. But anyway, these are figures that I had as a kid, and these are the figures that I go into the store. I'd beg my dad to buy me, and we'd never buy one. I'd maybe get I'd be lucky if I got like one or two, right? And so it was really cool to kind of go back and try and collect these things as I got older. So these ones are not actually, if you look at the figures themselves, they come from the Super Battle Collection line. However, these ones in particular, they are actually the Irwin versions. Now, Irwin was a US company that made toys, and I grew up in the US, so we didn't have access to the Super Battle Collection line. So these guys, that's what these models actually are. Okay, they come from the Irwin line. Maybe I can kind of flash here on the screen what those kind of look like. So they're technically not like legit Super Battle Collection line, but I wanted to go ahead and customize these because, these were the toys that I grew up with. But when I was growing up, there were a lot of the Super Battle Collection lines toys that I would see in these specialty Japanese toy stores, and I would always look in the window and wish that I could buy one, but I never could. And now I'm on a mission, right? to kind of just find these toys again and revisit a little bit of my childhood, a little bit of nostalgia there. So that's a background on the figures. Again, these are Irwin. However, the models, Irwin actually took the models, correct me if I'm wrong, but they basically reproduced the Super Battle Collection line for the US. And that's why the figures pretty much look the same, although they do have a few, I think, figures from the line that are very different from Super Battle Collection. But these two in particular, you'll definitely find these guys in the Super Battle Collection line. I think it's volume 19 and 21. Now, the story of how these got painted, I am not a painter. Yeah, I don't have those types of skills, but I did reach out to a good friend from the vintage collector community. His name is Japsman, and Japsman is very talented in restoring old figures and giving them a new, but still nostalgic vintage look. I did not want to paint them, with super detail, with a lot of the figures that are coming out today. I could just buy one if I wanted to, but I wanted to have one that looked new, looked fresh, but still had the vintage look to it. So I met up with Japsman. I told him the concept of what I wanted to do, and this was the output. So one of the things you should note is these are semi-gloss, okay? So when we painted them, I could choose between, super glossy, matte, or semi-gloss. Glossy is like the super shiny, which is a lot of the vintage figures, but I kind of wanted to give it a bit of a different look, so I didn't go for the glossy. And then the matte is usually what you find with the current figures today, so I did not want to do that. So I felt like semi-gloss was a good middle. So here's a quick close-up of what they look like, right? You got Gogeta and Vegito. This is actually Xeno Gogeta from the Super Dragon Ball Heroes anime. And for a background on Super Dragon Ball Heroes, I have the video on Dark Broly where I talk a little bit about that, okay? So if you're not sure what that is, you can check that one out. And over here is Xeno Vegito, and as you can notice, they are both Super Saiyan Blue. So I thought that was really cool to have them power up for these figures. Cool. All right. Now, as we jump into this review, usually my videos have been this way because the figures are pretty tall, but I kind of want to show this in good detail, so we're going to switch to a different angle, all right? For the first time. Let's check it out. Okay, so this is a little bit of a new setup. Don't mind this thing. So this is actually just the stand to kind of film the figures that you guys are seeing right now, but I figured it'd be better if I could get a better close-up of what's really going on with these action figures. So we're gonna try this new setup. So let's take a quick look. All right, let's start first with Gogeta, right? So Gogeta is actually the first figure that I actually had custom painted. So let's take a look here, okay? Let me see if I can just focus him a little bit. Let's do that. There we go. Good. All right, this close-up definitely is much better. All right. So as we take a look, you can see that he actually has 3 types of little blacks here, 3 types of shades of black. All right, so you've got black, and I believe that this is actually slightly different. It's hard to tell from up close or on camera, but this is actually a different shade of black. It's like an Astonish black, if I'm not mistaken. Then his vest here is actually like this mix of gray with blue. So the goal was really to fashion him after this art that I had seen. Well, one was from the anime, and also from some art that people had on Google. It's actually this one that's right here at the top, right? I don't know if you can see that. So I placed that here on the... I'll go into detail with the boxes in just a bit, but that's where it comes from. So what's really cool here too is he's got 3 shades of blue on here for more detail. So you've got the I don't know what this is, like a turquoise kind of color, and then you've got his what do you call this, bracelet, armlet, yeah. Here I think this is probably the same color, and then the hair is another color for the blue. So let's just take a look around. Really awesome. You know, what'd be really cool is let's just do a quick flashback into what this figure used to look like. All right, so as you can see, you know, he's very yellow, yellow in the sense like his hair is yellow. His armor was orange and black, and his pants was white. And you can definitely tell that this was a used figure with all the scuff marks that are on it. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of what this guy actually went through for his transformation, right? So let's jump back to the current figure. So here he is. Now this actually does remove. This is what's cool, what I liked about the previous Super Battle Collection line. Now, as you notice, as I pull this out, you're going to notice that this is orange, right? Orange here. That was orange because, I mean, that was the original color of his armor. And I was talking to Japsman, and he said that, you know, if we try to paint this, it runs the risk of maybe breaking. So we did not go with that. Anyway, this is going to stay connected when displayed. So that is why it's orange. Okay, now what's really cool here is, oh man, check him out. Oops, I can show him here too, right? Ooh, transferred. Ooh, transferred. Okay, so I went with this really cool look. Usually he's just kind of topless here, but he got sponsored by Under Armour. Check him out. Right, he's got like his tight fitting shirt. At least we tried to replicate it with this cool Astonish black. That you can see there. Now, if you check out the eyes are from what Japsman told me, that's the most fun part to kind of paint. So, let's do a little close up here on the eyes. Ooh, close up, yeah. Oh, there you go. Anyway, there you go. Oh, here. Oh, there, nice. Yeah, that is not easy to achieve, but he did an incredible job. Cool. So that is Gogeta, Xeno Gogeta. All right. Let us put him to the side. Okay. And let's get into Vegito. All right. So actually, Vegito was supposed to be a very, very simple custom. We were just going to paint him a different color, and that was it. I mean, Gogeta in the beginning actually was a bit trickier because he had so many different colors that we had to consider for his pants, for his black, for his top, right? And you know, the differences matter. Like, if we just painted this like the same kind of black and his vest was black, it just wouldn't have as much detail. So that's where a lot of the time took, was deciding the colors. For Japsman specifically, kind of mixing them up. We should also probably do a flashback, just like we did for Gogeta. So here's a look at Vegito, right, before we painted him. So as you can tell, also he was the yellow hair version. Many consider the yellow hair version of the Super Battle Collection figures pretty rare, but this was the Irwin, so I wasn't too concerned with painting over it. Just check out the figure itself. It's pretty beat up. And the one thing you'll notice is the armor, right? The armor here is much different from what he has on now. However, you'd be surprised that is actually the same exact armor that we just modified. So as you can tell, the figure looked super different back then, and with that, I think we should probably jump back to the figure today. Now for this one, wow, what's exciting with Vegito is originally we were just going to do colors, but look at what we actually did with the custom. So first thing you'll notice is the belt. All right, the actual Vegito figure does not have this belt. So he actually came from a Goku figure that I had that was just loose. It was an old Irwin Super Saiyan Goku, but I don't know if you can see there, right? Let me see if I can focus that. Okay, so see? They had that little belt, yeah? So that's where his came from. He came from another one of those figures. So we kind of cut that part of the belt off and put it here. Now, the coolest part is this vest. Because if you look at the box art, or again, this was not box art yet until I made it into box art, but it was basically fan art. You look here, right? He's got like this tight-fitting shirt, and we just figured that his original armor was not going to work that way. Well, it could have worked. I was actually okay with leaving it the way it was, just doing a simple repaint. But man, Japsman is really into quality, so he really pushed for it. He's like, hey, let us really customize this. So he took the original armor. So this is the original armor, or gi. Cut it up right here on the sides. Took out the orange parts, sanded it down, and then painted it. So let me see if I can do a quick flash on the screen what it looks like. So there it is right there. You can tell that he kind of had to cut it out and then sand it just to get that effect. So jumping back, this is Vegito. Got this nice little orange here, and everything else. Oh, one thing you'll notice is that the gloves are not just a plain white, okay? We went with more of like an off-white just to kind of give it a different kind of look. So that's really cool. But he also got sponsored by Under Armour, so. And even the little details like on his ear, look at that, Patera earrings, right? Like that, small details, right, really matter, and it just gives it like a better look, I think, when you really go into detail. So that is Vegito. Very simple, but just super nice. Let's take out his armor. So this is like the tricky part. Try to be careful with this a lot. Not do this. So here we go. But he just snaps out pretty easily as well. Okay. And here's him without his shirt. So orange. I was actually a little worried that he might look too Halloween-y, you know, like black and orange, but I just thought it'd be really cool to still do it, because that's what his color was in the anime, and it still turned out pretty well. It's a very nice, I forget what kind of orange this is, but it's pretty good. I like this shade. Cool. All right, now, that's the figure. This is like the fun part. All right, so let's jump into the boxing. Like I said, this video is gonna look a little bit different because usually we unbox stuff, but this time we're actually boxing these figures. So what's really cool is these figures, when I had them, they did not have a box. The original versions do, but obviously those versions look different. Let me flash on the screen right now what it would look like if you were to buy these Super Battle Collection figures in the original box. So there it is, right? Pretty simple. Oh, not simple, but you know what I mean? Like it's the original. So they got the yellow hair and everything. Okay, so what I did was I thought, hey, wouldn't it be really cool to kind of, you know, create like a little custom box for them. So this is something I actually did myself on Photoshop, right? And I gave him like this, so let me start first with Gogeta, because that was the first one I made. But actually, let me go into better detail. I'm gonna grab the figure that I used as the inspiration. Actually, not the figure, but the box as inspiration. Cool, so if you check this out, this is the Vegeta figure from the Japanese line. Okay, so the vintage collectors out there, you guys already know this, but for the people that are kind of new to this, Super Battle Collection had, I think, volumes 1 to 8. The very beginning of their line was produced in Japan, and they even went up to 10. I think 9 and 10 were actually produced in China. But from 1 to 10, okay, they had this unique box art before they kind of transferred into this one. So take a look. So this is like the current line of Super Battle Collection, what many people might recognize it as. However, you've got the Japan versions that look like this. And so I thought, hey, it'd be really cool to kind of just have that as the inspiration for this video. What am I talking about? Video, I mean, as the inspiration for the box art, okay? So, let's take a look for some comparisons, right? All right, there we go. Okay, so as you can see, in terms of detail, I got pretty detailed with this. The measurements for like where the fonts were basically down to like the, I think the 32nd of an inch, like 1 out of 32 sometimes. So, meaning like I try to get as close as possible, like the distance between the S, even like the height of the Super Battle Collection, right? There. Even the distance from here to here and here to here. Same thing with the border, right, of the color scheme. And what you'll also notice is I flipped it. So what was white before is now black, and what was black before is now white. I switched the logos, put the Super Dragon Ball Heroes logo, which is where this is from. Okay, and obviously I can't write Japanese, so I didn't try to replicate that. I just kind of put that in English. And then what I tried to also do is kind of switch as well the color schemes of the fonts. So here, the name is in this sort of like gold foil, and then the Super Battle Collection is like in the silver, sort of silverish gray. So I did a switch on that with the names. A little bit of a gray silver here, and then made that, well, kind of made it gold. I don't know if I succeeded, but now this one took, I'll show you a little bit of another close-up. If you can see right there, you see this logo? That is hard to make. I mean it's actually hard to find. There it is right here. See? That's the Super Battle Collection logo. So you might be wondering, like, how in the world was that made? Right? Like, how do you make that logo? Okay? So actually, I just tried to find like a high-res photo of the old Japanese versions, and then just did some photoshopping to try and get it. And I just made that and put it there to give it that legit feeling. Yeah. Oh, and then another cool thing here in the front is usually on the bottom it tells you here, right? Bandai, 1992, made in Japan. That's where that comes from. But on mine, I put Japsman's name because he's the one that painted it. 2021, custom painted in the Philippines. So that is a breakdown of that part. All right. I think that's pretty much it. Oh, here's the top. So Super Saiyan Blue Xeno Vegeta. So Gogeta, sorry. Super Saiyan Blue Xeno Gogeta, and then Japanese. I can't understand, so I didn't want to embarrass myself. All right. Let's go to the side. So the side profile, try to keep it simple. Now, yeah, I didn't want to do all of this, so actually, let me show you where this kind of takes its cue from. I'll grab my figures over there. Hang on. So if you look at this, this is a bootleg, right? It's a weird like Bardock Goku, but so the side of his is like that. So I just kind of copied that. But on the other side, okay, oh there it is. I tried to stay faithful to the Japanese box. So let's take a look at that. Okay, So, look at the Japanese side. Bang, right? Look at that. That's cool. So, yeah, I basically took a picture. This is a picture of the actual figure. So I took a picture of this Gogeta on my iPhone, and then I just kind of cropped it out and placed him there and tried to do the, even the distance, right, from here to here, how far this is away from his face, how much space he takes up, like that was all taken into consideration. Yeah, maybe that was too meticulous. I don't know, but I like it. All right, so that is the side, other side, and then I showed you the top. So the coolest part is the back. This is the original Japanese. Okay, so he's got like this little figure here, display, and then some scenes from the anime, and then some other stuff. I really don't understand what it says, so I didn't want to try, copying that, but this is what I came up with. Okay, let me push this back a little bit so we can see. There, perfect. Okay, so as you notice, the name is kind of here on the top right, kind of like that is. Super Battle Collection put the logo. I did a close-up of Gogeta, like Vegeta has his face here, and then you're going to see his name up top. Now, for this one, I wasn't sure what to kind of put there. I even copied like this little triangle thing. You see that? I did that over there. I don't know what this says, so I just like, okay, what am I going to put here? Okay, well, let's do a screenshot of the anime, and then like a cool artist rendition. And then this part was super cool. If you'll notice, everything dimension-wise is all the same. Like the distance from here to here, how big this is, how big that is, how big this square is, how big this thing is, whatever that is. And the colors are reversed, just like in the beginning. So, what was black before is now white. So that's why it's like that. Yeah? Now, if you take a look, this is a close-up. I was like, what can I fill here to make it look cool? And it's actually a collector's note. So this is just for me anyway. I don't plan on selling this stuff, but I just thought it'd be really cool, especially if I post pictures. It's an original Bandai figure, custom painted and placed in a custom designed box. So people don't get confused, you know what I mean? Like they're gonna maybe post these pictures up and say, oh, this is like a super rare variant. Well, it's not, okay? This is just like something I did for fun. And then designed by, that's my last name, 2021 when I made this. So cool, that is the box. I mean, one thing people might be asking is like, how do you make this? So this is actually made from an artboard supply. It's a little bit of a thick sort of paper. And then when you print it, you have to make sure that it has skin laminate. Is it skin? Well, I just know you should put some laminate on it too, right? So you can fold it, because if you do not put laminate on it, it will crack, or the print will crack. Let me, maybe I have an example. Let me show you. All right, so if you look at this, this is my little like box I'd made also for one of my cool custom figures that I had made. And if you look at the corner here, okay, let me transfer it here. If you look at the corner, it cracks. This did not have laminate on it. This one does not crack. So you need to have that laminate so that you can fold it and it looks cool. Anyway, I'll maybe do a separate video for this, but that's it. Okay, now, okay, so I know that's exciting. That's basically the box for this one. Let's go into Vegito's box. So I can put this Vegeta to the side. Vegito, here we go. Alright, so Vegito, same thing. He's volume 19. I went with the orange because that's what he had here. This is fan art. All of this is just, fan art. This and this, I'll show you in the back actually, here. Gogeta, alright, this is the fan art I used. Specifically the colors. So this one matches the colors of the figure much better. Because like here in the front, it's a bit darker. So if you wonder why that is, it's because it's actually based off of this one. But however, I could not put this on the front because the resolution on this was too low and it was going to blur up too much if I put it. So I thought he belongs here. Now, for this one, the fan art here and here is not what I used. It's actually on the back, which I'll go into, but let's go over this one first. There's a logo, name here. Yeah, it looks really cool, man. Japsman, credits down there. Here's the side, and yeah, I did the same thing. Now, if you notice, like, see this little crease here? Nah, not as mint. You know why? Because when I was folding this, I calculated. I said, oh, it needs to be folded here. I was like, oh, that's too soon. It needs to go down a bit further. So that's all right. I can live with this, or it's just for fun anyway. Or if I wanted to really be tedious about it, I could just print this out and do another one. But one thing I didn't say in the other box was, look at this. Like, even I tried my best to make sure that this was also still aligned with the back. Yeah, these little small details. So anyway, so if we follow this, it should lead us right back to the back of the box, and here he is. Okay, hang on. Bang! Nice. This needs to go further back. There we go. Let me go ahead and put Gogeta's box here. Oh, don't fall, brother. All right, cool. All right, so same deal. I put the figure here. This is the actual art that I used as the inspiration for the figure. Yeah, and then this is a screenshot from the anime. A little bit of a close-up for consistency, and then the collector's note. So, this was the funnest part too, was like taking pictures of these figures and then like basically cropping out all the excess, and then putting on Photoshop and having them look like that. So that's Gogeta, and there's Vegito with his armor on and armor off, because that is what happens in the Japanese version. Cool. All right, so this is the coolest part. We're gonna end the video with the boxing part. All right, not boxing, but we're gonna put the figures in their boxes. So I'm super excited to see how this ends up looking like. Actually, I mean, spoiler alert, I already know what it looks like, but I'm excited to just do the process. Okay, so let's start with Gogeta first. So this tray, you might be wondering, where is this from? It actually comes from a bootleg. Goku sits in here. He, actually, if you look there, I have an extra one of those, so I kind of just borrowed his tray for right now. But I will be getting a tray from probably an actual official Gogeta box, so that it should fit more snug. But at least you know why that is. So let's take Gogeta here. Let's put him right there. Okay, so you're not going to see my face now because I don't have the other camera up anymore. But at least you can hear my voice. And what's important is you guys see the figure. So, and then here is his gi. Now, this gi does not fit in here very snug. I do need a Gogeta tray to get this to kind of come in a bit better. So, for now, it's just going to have to sit like that until I get like a cool tray to really put him in. So we'll slide him in there. It's going to come out a little bit. That's fine. Okay, this is just for fun anyway. And then let's lock that in place. Woo! There he is. Yeah! Gogeta! Gogeta. Xeno Gogeta. Okay, now let's get to Xeno Vegito. Okay, so again, same thing. I had like an extra tray from one of my bootleg figures. So that's where this comes from. As you can tell, it's got all this like, it's kind of dirty, but it's fine. It'll work as a replacement until I get the actual tray. So let's put Vegito, Xeno Vegito in here. So he's gonna sit right there. It's like his coffin. He's like, dude, putting me in a coffin. All right, so anyway, we're gonna put this here. Check him out. Vest in place. Now this one fits pretty snug. Ironically, if this was the original gi, this would not fit, but since we shaved it down, it fits perfectly. So he probably has the smoothest, smoothest, what do you call that? Entry? Smoothest, yeah, smoothest transition, okay? Or placement, there you go. And let's box that in place. There, nice. And there he is. Woo! Cool. Oh, one more question you might have is, how do you get this part here, right? This clear thing. Okay, so that is actually from... All right, so it comes from this. They're like this book binding stuff. It's the stuff you use for your book reports. So I just bought some of that and cut that in place. And then I use this. This is like in the Philippines, this is like our mighty bond, or at least, you know, in the States or internationally, this is like your super, super like sticky glue, right? The stuff you use for like the really major stuff. So this is really tricky. If you mess up in applying it, you will, you know, well, you really have to like get this on the first shot. Otherwise, you might mess up your project there. So yeah, you don't want to mess up. All right, so let's take one last look at the boxes, man. Check them out. So this is, again, Gogeta here. Let's put him in focus. Right there, focus, man, focus. There you go. Whoo, okay. Safely in his box, logo up, box art here, sideways look, and the back. And finally, Super Saiyan Blue Xeno Vegito. In his box, sideways, and the back. Yeah! Woo! Oops. Crap. Okay. There. Nice. You know what? I could have actually done this. The whole time I was giving myself a hard time. I could have done close-ups this way. Okay, anyway, at least I know what to do for next time. Alright, so that's the video. Let's check them out. Both figures are safely in their boxes. Will they stay this way? I don't know. You know, just think it's pretty cool to have them here. I know the video is a bit lengthy, but I felt like I really did want to go over the details that went into these figures because they're super awesome. And who knows, maybe if I have more figures that are custom made, I can do another video. But that is the video, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I know it wasn't as, you know, I didn't have as many jokes this time around. Usually, you know, when I'm unboxing a figure, I can just focus on like, oh, looks cool, right? Well, this was a custom, so I kind of had to go into a little bit of detail. Like the inner workings of like how they came to be. But I hope it was helpful, and I hope it was cool to kind of see that. So yeah, this has been Super Saiyan Blue Xeno Gogeta, Super Saiyan Blue Xeno Vegito, and I want to thank you guys for checking this video out. And yeah, if you guys are new to the channel, please do go ahead and leave a comment. Actually, if you guys are from the community, from the vintage community or from the Dragon Ball community, and you happen on this video, maybe just chime in, tell me where you guys are from, or you know, just say hey, from the community here. At least I can say hi, and you know, just thank you guys for watching. So yeah, that is it. Oh, do me another favor, please subscribe, like, and share the video if you'd like. You know, I'm kind of new to the whole collecting and like unboxing stuff. If you look at my channel, most of the stuff I have on here is like dance. That's what I've been doing for a living, and that's my other passion. But this is like my other passion. You know what I mean? So expect a mix of those videos if you guys subscribe. Anyway, that is it, guys. Thank you so much again for checking this out. This has been Jeremiah again, and thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Xeno, Gogeta, and Vegeta. Whoosh. Did I say Gogeta? Here you go. Peace.